It's a late afternoon in October when I leave the Carlin female unit of the psychiatric hospital. The wind and the sun are strong, as if the elements are in competition, trying to outdo each other. I climb into the back seat of my parents' car, and my mom asks where I'd like to eat. IHOP, I say. When we sit down to order, everything is moving too quickly. I'm overwhelmed with sights, sounds, people, and choices. I imagine it's like when you buy a goldfish from a store, and you have to leave it in the plastic bag so it can get used to the water before you dump it into the new tank. Now that I've left the hospital, there is no thin plastic bag, no reacclimation period. The waitress wants to know what I want to order. I open my mouth, but no words come. I point to a picture of chicken and waffles on the menu. She nods her head and walks away. My parents and I sit and eat in silence. When we get home, I go straight to my room, lay on my bed, and watch TV. It's different now. I can no longer lock my door. I can tell that my parents have looked through my closet and my dressers. My most private things, my underwear, journals, my privacy invaded by the people I trust the most. Well, used to trust the most. For the first time since I left the ward, I felt something, anger and shame. I want everything to go back to normal, the before, the sweet, innocent girl. I don't want this after, the girl who tried to kill herself. I don't want people to feel bad for me, not then, not ever. I don't feel my mental state has improved. I just feel manipulated into believing that now that I did my time in the hospital, I see my privilege, I know how good I have it compared to other people. I feel I have to be perfect, to act like a happy human, but I'm not a happy human. I am like a moldable clay that kindergartners play with, a 4-year-old's creation of a monster with 2 heads. One says, everything is fine. And the other just wants to tell someone about the pain, the racing thoughts as I try to sleep. But I have to be sane to save the sanity of my parents who love me, who want so desperately for me to be safe from my own demons. I know I put my family through hell. I see the cards and the flowers people sent to my family. Hey, here's a casserole. I'm sorry your daughter tried to kill herself. I have to be okay so people don't look at them like they screwed up their kid. They didn't screw up. It's no one's fault. I feel like I have to sacrifice my sadness so they can get back to normal. I remember joy and laughter before I got depressed. The Sunday dinner when we would all sit at the table laughing at pictures of the world's ugliest dog. He's an indistinguishable gray-brown color with an underbite and his tongue hanging out from the side of his mouth. Laughing so hard, tears were streaming down all of our faces. In high school, my dad was my 7th period history teacher, crazily enough. He was a good teacher and funny, but I didn't want anyone to know that he was my dad because that would be weird, right? Yeah. On the first day of 9th grade, he's going over the syllabus and he puts up 2 animal pictures. He pointed to the left, a litter of adorable golden retriever puppies, and said, "This is how I want the year to go, warm and fuzzy. But if you give me an attitude, I'm going to act like this one." And he pointed to the picture on the right. It's the world's ugliest dog. Everyone was just staring at him like, what? But I knew it was a secret joke just for me. Back in high school, he'd always say, "Have a good day, kiddo." But after I tried to commit suicide, he stops calling me kiddo. Now he says, "You know I love you, right?" I walked downstairs. I'm sorry. Thank you. I walked downstairs to the unfinished basement with its old wooden paneling, exposed pipes, and dark gray concrete floors. Somehow it's more comforting than any part of the house because it hasn't changed. There's a small fridge where we keep drinks. I wanted something that isn't nasty, fake-tasting orange juice with the annoying pull-back plastic lid that they give you at the hospital. I reach in and grab a cold, dark blue Gatorade. I twist the lid, and it makes a loud crack as the seal breaks. I'm thirsty. But just as I start to drink, my dad comes sprinting down the stairs, screaming. The kind of scream you make when you're scared or in pain. He grabs my arms, knocking the bottle out of my hands. The sugary drink spills everywhere, all over me, and the cold concrete floor. We stand there staring at each other, and I watch him realize his mistake. Laure, I heard the crack, and I thought you were opening a bottle of prescription pills. I thought. He starts to cry. I just can't lose you again. I run away from him and upstairs to my room, mortified and overwhelmed with guilt. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I just wanted to escape the mind-bending pain, awake all night, every night, dehydrated from crying. I don't feel real. Nothing feels real. I just can't lose you again. But I was never lost, I want to say. I was always here. Learning to be okay didn't happen overnight, and it didn't start right away. In my first conversation with a psychiatrist, they asked me if I regret trying to kill myself. No, I say. I still want to die. My mom gasps and runs out of the room. I know it's painful for her, but it's also the rawest I have ever been, and for the first time I'm honest with anyone about being depressed. But I continue going to therapy for the next 2.5 years, where I learned that while, yes, I love my parents, and I know they love me, this journey is mine alone. I can pretend I am okay and continue to hate my existence, or I can say, screw it, and find out what makes me happy. So for the first time, I learned to choose myself. My happiness and healing is rooted in me being okay, not my parents, not my friends, not anyone but me. Depression is an everyday battle. There are still days when all I want to do is lay in bed and cry. But I always get up because I have to keep fighting. And for one of the first times ever, I can honestly say I'm happy.
Okay.